Are Manchester City in trouble? And I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about for the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Now, I know what you're thinking, Henry. They're going to be fine. Henry, this is just a blip. Well, Pep Guardiola, according to rumors, reports, Jamie Carragher did an article or a paragraph in the Telegraph speaking about Pep Guardiola potentially could leave. There's a lot of rumors about Xabi Alonso, Enzo Maresca taking over in the summer. And I think Guardiola is at a point now in his career where he genuinely just looks burnt out. You know, managing a football club, it's not like I have got no idea what it's like, but you could only imagine it is a 24/7 job. You are on the go constantly, and he's been doing it for 20 years pretty much non-stop. Now, of course, he's paid unbelievably well. Highest paid manager in the Premier League. But when he goes, because he's so embedded in every single thing that Manchester City do, you know, he's the style of play, how the players are coached, their nutrition, the players go out on loan. He's so heavily involved. When he leaves, are they in trouble? Because Enzo Maresca, it's going to take him time. Similar style of play to Guardiola, but it's going to take him time if he comes in. Xabi Alonso has never managed in the Premier League and is heavily linked with the Liverpool job because Arne Slot at the moment isn't performing to what we saw last year. And you look at, forget Arsenal, you look at the Premier League, City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs. The 5 most other likely clubs to challenge. Now, we haven't challenged since 2016-17. Man United haven't challenged in a long time. Liverpool, the closest to Arsenal in the last 3 years other than City. And, of course, Chelsea haven't challenged for a number of years as well. And you look at what potentially could happen in the next 2 or 3 years. You know, Tixi Birkenstein, who was the director of football, has left. They brought in the guy from Lisbon. And when I look at what City want to do in terms of they want to go out there, they want to win major honours. If they don't win the Premier League this season, it will be the first time in Guardiola's career that he's gone 2 years without winning the Premier League, which is absolutely astonishing. And it will be the first time in his career he's ever gone 2 years without winning a league title. Now, the psychological side of things, if they do lose to Liverpool, which they've only won 1 game at Anfield in the Premier League, to my understanding, and I don't think with the way they're playing right now, forget the win home and away against Newcastle. Win the Premier League, they've lost to Manchester United. They've drawn with Sunderland, Brighton, Chelsea, Spurs, beat Wolves. But on another day, if Wolves took their chances, what I'm getting at is I don't see Man City next season winning a league title as things stand. Now, Enzo Maresca could come in the summer and completely go above all expectations. He's got a history for striving for high standards. He lost the Chelsea job because of the way he spoke out against the board. Man City probably match his ambition, but I don't think the overall quality of the squad wins the league as it stands if they go into next season. Now, obviously, they'll improve, but Arsenal could improve. Liverpool could come back. It's an interesting subject, isn't it? I mean, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you check out the Premier League preview earlier with Terry. And make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button. As it stands, we are 570 away from hitting 89,000. I mean, you guys seem to be loving a lot of the content at the moment. The Premier League preview, you guys seem to be really enjoying that sort of content. But Jamie Carragher put out an article, or he writes a paragraph, I think, every single week in the Telegraph. And he basically said, we all believe what we are watching, Pep Guardiola's last dance. He goes on to say, there's not much he hasn't achieved in England besides a win at Anfield in front of fans. Let's enjoy having the best coach of all time in our league while we can. Now, that's certainly up for debate. I would argue that Alex Ferguson is a better manager, but as a coach, you could certainly argue that Guardiola is the best. And there's more things coming out with the fact that, you know, you saw Rodri's post-match interview on Sky Sports, him complaining at referees. And there certainly isn't a happy camp, I would argue, at Man City right now. They look like a team that are struggling with not winning a league title. Like, they are really struggling in terms of going out there and winning matches. They're not on a fantastic run, are they? So in terms of Man City going into next season, potentially without the sole provider of building that team, Guardiola, I don't know how I feel about it. This is what both Rodri and Guardiola said after their draw with us. Rodri said after the Tottenham win, and I quote, "I know we won too much and people don't want us to win, but the referee has to be neutral for me. Honestly, it's not fair." So Rodri is saying the referee wasn't fair. He's a neutral. What does that mean? He says the referee has to be neutral. Guardiola, yeah, the situation that we have belongs to us. Being 6 points ahead behind Arsenal, belongs to us. Absolutely just to us. I respect you've had some refereeing decisions that have been against Man City, but that doesn't happen to every team. Don't say that. People don't say that. Journalists, look, this isn't a normal situation at Man City. They have criticised Arsenal, Liverpool, their fans in recent years for complaining against referees, for refs having an agenda. Now, Man City have all of a sudden done this, and it just looks like he looks incredibly frustrated. There was reports last year that he was potentially going to leave when they went on the 8-game defeat or 8-game losing streak without winning a game. I just don't see Guardiola as it stands. I don't see him being here. When you look at David Ornstein has come out with or Fabrizio Romano has come out a number of times with updates regarding Pep Guardiola in terms of they're drawing up a shortlist on who can come and replace him. I don't know. Even things like this, I'm a little bit upset because in the end, our net spend is high in the last 5 years. We're 7th. These are facts, not opinions. We've never seen Guardiola like this. We just haven't. So is he crumbling? Is he going to leave? And if he does leave, Enzo Maresca coming in. I'm personally, I don't see Enzo Maresca winning a league title, within, I would imagine, the next year of becoming a Man City manager. I personally don't think their squad's as strong as Arsenal's. I think if Liverpool get a couple of signings over the line, I just don't see them competing. You look at this year, or they'll compete, but I don't see them winning. You look at the Premier League right now, they could go 9 points behind Arsenal this weekend. The fact that if results don't go their way, Manchester United somehow, maybe, if results go their way, could be within 3 points of City. Now, this Man United team is one of the better Man United teams in the last decade. But from a City perspective, that should be major red flags. Aston Villa, with a win at Bournemouth, could go above City this weekend. And I think with there being potentially a 9-point gap, I personally believe that psychologically, mentally, they will check out and they will focus on the league title, similarly to what similar to what Arsenal did last year when Liverpool started running away with it. And what's going to be really, really interesting is who do City bring in? Because if it's Xabi Alonso, it's going to take him probably 3 to 6 months to get used to the league, and then you can't really afford to lose football matches when you win a league title. If it's Enzo Maresca, probably will take him a little bit quicker because, after all, he's managing this Premier League. He's won trophies in England. He won the Club World Cup. He won the Conference League. But again, I just don't necessarily see them winning the league. And I look at what Arsenal are doing right now. Could they continue this? Absolutely. With a couple of signings, they win the Premier League again next season. With a couple of signings for Liverpool, they are right up there again. And I just don't see Man City next season, potentially with a new manager coming in, who's going to be under immense pressure, because anyone coming in after Guardiola, similar to coming in after Alex Ferguson, coming in after Jurgen Klopp, a manager like that, whoever comes in is immediately going to be judged and compared to Pep Guardiola, which then adds additional stress, an additional pressure. And I personally don't see them winning the league next season as it stands. Now, they could go out and have an unbelievable transfer window, and they could go out and win, 2 or 3 trophies next season, providing the window matches their expectations and the players and the fans and the club are all singing from the same hymn sheet. But as it stands, I just don't see that happening. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you soon. I'm out.